Now, look, I respect Vince McMahon. I respect for what he's done for the WWE, for making the WWE a worldwide phenomenon, a mainstream attraction. But just because I respect Vince McMahon for what he's done for the WWE doesn't mean I'm not going to sit up here and kiss his ass all day and act like that what he's doing is wrong. You know what I mean? Like some of the actions that he's done, some of the superstars that I feel like should be getting pushed that he's not pushing. So last night or yesterday afternoon, I don't know when, but yesterday, it was reported by Wrestling Inc. By the way, shout out to Wrestling Inc. You should go watch their podcast. They do WWE, AEW, and NXT reviews and stuff like that. Matt Morgan, Glenn Rubenstein, and Raj Gary, and Sam Adonis, and Justin LaBar. So those, you should go check those guys out. Really cool guys. Just shout out to Wrestling Inc. But anyways, back to the real point at hand here. So basically, Vince McMahon is banning the superstars from having a third party. And basically what I mean by that is that if you've been looking for the past few months, you would notice how some wrestlers have their own private channels. They have YouTube channels, they have Twitch channels, they do cameos, you know, stuff like that. And if you would know, if you get enough views on YouTube, if you get donations on Twitch and money on Cameo, you can make money off those things I just mentioned. Some superstars like Paige, Zelina Vega, AJ Styles, Aleister Black, Lana, Mandy Rhodes, Roman Reigns, when he was with the pandemic, he had cameos. So some of these superstars have been using these form of information. And not only are they using it in a way to just earn money, but they're using it as a way, in my opinion, to connect more with the audience, to, you know, for the fans to know them about them a little bit more. You know what I mean? I mean, we live in a world where kayfabe is dead, so I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really nice when a wrestler every once in a while does try to keep kayfabe alive, but it's hard to keep kayfabe alive in a world where social media is just absolutely everywhere, where your life is everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with the wrestlers doing that. I don't have a problem with wrestlers having their own Twitch, having their own YouTube channel. That way fans can know them about them a little bit more. You know what I mean? That way fans can be like, oh, man, this person, he or she is really cool. I'm going to have to check them out on Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. And what Vince McMahon is doing, he's ending it. He's like, you can't do it, basically. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. And it has caused a lot of people in the wrestling community to get upset. I believe Paige was on Twitter yesterday as well talking about how, well, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to end my Twitch streaming or anything like that. But she has no choice. She has to. She has to. Because Vince said so. So, you know, man, one of those stupid rules that Vince McMahon has implemented. You know, Vince McMahon, I don't know what his dealio is. I don't know what the problem is for the superstars to connect more with their fan base or anything like that. I guess it's getting to the point where they'll just say whatever they want to say, like how I remember AJ Styles was on his Twitch a few weeks ago where he was talking about Paul Heyman, you know, calling out Paul Heyman, you know, with the firing or the release of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, which are now in Impact. You know, it is what it is. It's just, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, that's a good decision, Vince McMahon. That's a good decision. Because it's not. It's not a good decision. Because now what are they supposed to do? You know, like, how are they supposed to have fun? You know what? I won't even be surprised if next he'll be like, delete your Instagram accounts and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Not saying he's going to do that, but I'm just using that as an example. So, yeah, man. So, The problem with, and here's the sad part. The WWE, and I believe Stephanie McMahon said this, stated that WWE, we own the wrestler's name. You know what I mean? Like, we own the wrestler's name. That's why when a wrestler leaves WWE, he or she has to change their name because WWE owns that name. Look at Billy Gunn in AEW. Billy Gunn does not use Gunn as his last name because WWE has it, so he has no choice but to just call himself Billy. So it's crazy, man. WWE, they're just doing this whole crazy stuff. They're just holding you captive. It is like some wrestlers say, it is like prison. I understand working for the WWE is a dream, but man, oh man, it's when you really look at it, it's not really a dream. If you're an up and coming wrestler who wants that creative freedom, who wants to do whatever he wants to do, who doesn't want to be held back by creative, then WWE is just not the poor place for you. The only way I see you going to WWE is if you are looking for that big time money deal and that mainstream attraction, like you want to be all over the news and everything. It's just what WWE will do. You're going to come into the company, right, and you're going to be focused. You're going to be in the best time of your life. You're going to be focused. You're loving wrestling. You're a fan of pro wrestling. You're doing what you love. And then 6 months into your WWE career, Vince McMahon, creative team, takes all the love, everything that you love for pro wrestling, and completely destroys it because that's what WWE does. They do it, man. They do it. They have so many talent on that roster who should have an opportunity but hasn't been given the opportunity. But then again, it makes sense because some of them doesn't have characters, but use that opportunity to give them characters, build new stars. That is one of the main problems with WWE. I love the Thunderdome. They can go back to TV 14, but you have to create new stars. If you're not going to be able to create new stars, then the company is not going to improve. The company is not going to increase. Because you're going to using the same people over and over again, and people are going to start to get bored, and people are going to start to tune out because they're going to be like, oh, well, you're using the same person over and over again. Why do you think the WWE keeps bringing back these legends, Stone Cold, The Rock, and all these others? Because instead of creating new stars, they'll think if we just bring in legends, if we just bring in guys that people love from the past, then we can bring the ratings. And yeah, the ratings will go up, no doubt about it. And then what happens next week? Right back where they started. They'll go from a 2.8 in a week to go right back down to 1.3 the next week. They got to create new stars, people. They got to create new stars. And they have to allow the superstars to connect more with the audience. That's how you build those larger-than-life superstars. You focus on that casual appeal. Don't listen to the wrestling fans, the hardcore wrestling fans, because no matter what they say, no matter what we do, we're still going to tune in regardless. We're still going to watch regardless. Appeal to the masses, appeal to the casual fans. But anyways, back to the real point at hand here. Vince McMahon, he has to, I don't know. And Vince McMahon, this is going to be the last thing I say before I shut this video off. Almost 10 minutes in. Vince McMahon, you're not going to watch this video, obviously. Again, I respect you. I love your work ethic. And I think Vince McMahon, at the end of the day, is a good person. But Vince McMahon needs to realize that we are in a new decade. We're in a new year. Vince McMahon needs to realize that this is not 1997 anymore. This is 2020. The same Vince McMahon, the same fire, the same spark that Vince McMahon had in 1997, which to a point because WCW was on his ass. It's not the same Vince McMahon in 2020. Not the same Vince McMahon who was feuding with Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's why a lot of people wish AEW succeeds and not fail, because if AEW can compete with them, not saying they are, but if AEW was to compete with WWE, then that will let WWE be like, man, they're starting to be a better product than us. We got to step up our game. We got to create new stars. I don't know. But who am I? I'm just a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? So hopefully Vince McMahon changes his mind and like, you know what, do what you need to do. But then again, it's Vince McMahon. Vince hardly changes his mind, and honestly, I don't think Vince is going to change his mind on this one. So everyone's been talking about it, and I was like, well, let me get my thoughts on it. So yeah, man, so that's my whole take on it. I don't know what these, especially the wrestlers who like, I don't know what Paige is going to do. I don't know what. I don't know. I mean, they're still gonna wrestle and stuff, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, Lana, she hardly does anything in WWE right now. I mean, she's with Natalia, but I don't know what they're gonna do now. I really don't. I have no idea what they're gonna do. And I don't know if this channel is a WWE owned channel, but I hope up. But if it's not, then that means we won't be seeing no more up, up, down, down, which is a shame because I love up, up, down, down. We won't be seeing Sheamus's workouts that he does with wrestlers no more. Stuff like that we're not gonna be able to see no more because Vince just doesn't think it's right. It's Vince being Vince. Y'all have a good day. And AEW All Out comes tonight, so yeah. And by the way, for anyone saying that, oh, why are you crapping on WWE? Oh, you need to calm down. I'm just stating my opinion. And in my opinion, I just think this one wasn't a really good move. Maybe, hopefully, Vince has a change of heart and lets these wrestlers do what they need to do.